Hi, team. Happy Tuesday. It is Transformation Tuesday. It is June 21st, which is the first day of summer. Also, it is the summer solstice. What does that mean? It means it's the longest day of the summer. Actually, the longest day of the year as well. So, welcome to summer. We are officially here. It is summer, East Coast, West Coast, wherever you are. But if you're in Australia, you are in winter. So, you're opposite of everyone else in the world. So, with that being said, if you're on here live, say hello, say what's up, let me know you're here, give yourself some hearts. And when you catch the replay, comment with hashtag Encore. Let me know that you were here so I can acknowledge you and celebrate you. So, with that being said, my quick question for you is, are you being relentless? Are you obsessed? And if you are obsessed, what are you obsessed with? And what are you fascinated with? And so here's the transformation for you. And I was actually talking to my coach, my business coach, earlier today, and we were talking about like what's going on in the world, right? So like what is really going on in the world, what's happening right now, etc. And the experience that we're experiencing in general is many people, and this may or may not be you, are in a space of what is called a COVID coma. And here's what we mean by that, a COVID coma. There's a level of complacency after like the whole being in shutdown, etc., that may or may not be you, by the way. So just take it with a grain of salt. But that's just the general sense of what I'm experiencing and what we're collectively experiencing. So there's a level of complacency when it comes to specific things in life, and the level of urgency is not there. And that could be in an area of life that is important to you. That could be in, maybe you want to build a business, but you're not being urgent in creating that business, or not being urgent with creating a specific result in your business, or whatever that looks like for you. It could also be your health. It could be a career, it could be a relationship, it could be whatever that looks like. So there's a level of complacency, and also there's a level of stagnation, if you will, and not going the distance to be urgent. And here's what I mean by that. So when you're being relentless, you're in pursuit of what is important for you. So when you're being relentless, you're unstoppable. When you're being relentless, you don't give up. When you're being relentless, you take risks. When you're being relentless, you move quickly. When you're being relentless, you create partnerships with people, you create collaborations, you create relationships, you make it work, right? You find a way instead of find an excuse. You find a way instead of finding an excuse. So where are you on the spectrum? Are you more on the urgent side of things? Like, are you moving quickly? Are you someone who's creating results? Are you excited about your results? Or are you on the other side of the spectrum where you have a level of complacency, maybe even procrastinate, maybe even put things off, and you're either in confusion, you're in this lethargic state, maybe you're in a space where you're being stagnant, maybe you're stuck perhaps. So there's no right or wrong on where you are and whatever side you're in. What my intention is that you actually get connected to where you are now and where you want to be, and let's support you with a bridge to get you from where you are now to where you want to be. So if that sounds like a good plan for you, say that does, because I'm excited to support you. That's part of your transformation. So transformation does not happen in isolation. I'm going to say that again. Transformation does not happen in isolation. No one transforms like being isolated. We transform as a community when we're with each other, when we're collaborating with each other, when we're in partnership with each other. So one of the reasons why I personally love group coaching, because I coach clients in groups. I also work with clients privately, very selective few that I work with privately, but I work with groups because the group collectively lifts each other up. The group collectively elevates each other. The energy of the group elevates everyone else. And the same thing about group fitness. I love teaching group kickboxing because it's also the same thing. It's the energy of the group. Because if you may not have a great day, that happens to all of us, but when there are other people in the group that are like crushing it, there's no other way for you except to elevate. I mean, that's really the point, right? But if you're in your own little world, then you're just going to be in your own little world. You're not going to create the transformation you want to create. So you get to be relentless. You also get to be obsessed. So I want to speak a little bit more about the relentlessness piece and also the obsessed piece, so that it would support you in closing the gap. Okay, so what is an area that is important to you right now that you said that you want to create, say, in January, that you have not created it yet, that you get to be obsessed with? And what I mean by obsessed, like you get to be in a space where you're fascinated by how you're going to make it happen. You hear what I'm saying? If you have not read the book by Grant Cardone called it's called the 10x rule. Yeah, the 10x rule. If you've not read that book, you get to read it. If you've not read his book Obsessed, his other book is called Be Obsessed or Be Average, you get to read that book. Because if you're not obsessed about being the best version of yourself, about being a great contribution to the world, about making a difference for the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not obsessed with that, you're going to end up being average, and average people really you don't create an impact if you're average. I mean, that's the fact, right? So if you want to be extraordinary, you get to be extra. I'm going to say that again. If you want to be extraordinary and create extraordinary results, you get to go the extra mile. You get to be extra in order to create extra. If you're going to be average, then you're going to stay average. You're going to be status quo like everyone else, and you're going to be average. You're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to be like, mediocrity, right? Like being in the mediocre space. And I know if you're here, by the way, you're not committed to mediocrity. You're committed to excellence. You're also committed to being extraordinary, right? So being extraordinary means you go the extra mile, you take the extra effort, you push yourself, you make it happen, you find a way, you make it happen. And if you can't make it happen, you find people around you that can support you and elevate you so you can make it happen. Like for me, I hang out with people that are way, way more smarter than me, way more successful than I am. Why? Because I aspire to be that person. I aspire to make a bigger impact. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where my mindset is. And so for you to create transformation in any area of life, you get to get connected to where is it that you have a breakdown? Why is it important for you to have a breakthrough? And what is your breakthrough? Is your breakthrough being relentless? Is your breakthrough letting go procrastination, actually being urgent? Is your breakthrough being consistent? Is your breakthrough being organized? Is your breakthrough maybe inviting joy? I'm talking to several clients. Some of them are having heaviness about things that they're creating. Don't have heaviness. Create joy in what you're doing. Like anything I step into, I invite joy, I invite fun, I invite play, I just invite lightness about it. There's no reason to add any heaviness. Because life is already short. So why make it heavy if you can make it light? You know what I'm saying? When you make it light, it just makes it happen better, right? So that's what I want to leave with you is be urgent. You get to be urgent. You also get to be relentless with what you're creating. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your goals. We have 9 more days before the end of the quarter, and this is something I'm coaching all of my clients on. So whether you're a private client or a group client, doesn't really matter. You get to focus on hitting your goals and being and crushing it, okay? And you also get to be obsessed and fascinated by who you get to be to create the result that you're here to create. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up and ask you this question. What is one thing that you want to create that you've been holding yourself back on, that you're like, you know what, I'm going to create it because I'm just over it. I just get to create it. And what is it what's holding you back? Like, what is really holding you back? If you were honest with yourself, what's holding you back? I was talking to a client earlier today in one of my groups, and one of the things that was holding her back is fear. And it was more about like, when having conversations, like how people perceive her. So her fear was fear of judgment versus like being of service and contribution. And you know what? All of us have fear of judgment, including myself. Anytime I'm putting a video, putting myself out there, I'm always in a space that it could be exposed to judgments. And it's cool. I'm okay with people judging me. I used to not be okay with people judging me in the past, but now I'm like, whatever, you judge me, that's your shit. It's not my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm okay with you judging me. You know what I mean? Because that's your stuff, not my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very clear because I know my intentions. I know where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? So if you're that person and you're judging, then you get to do a self-reflection. And why are you judging? And what's coming up for you? You know what I'm saying? And here's what I know for sure. We're all mirrors of each other. So I see myself in you, you see yourself in me. We all are reflections of each other, and we all get to be kind to one another. We all get to elevate each other, and we all get to love each other and really lift each other up, and we all get to rise together. So that's my vision, that's my commitment. And so with that being said, share what your biggest takeaway was from this session on Transformation Tuesday, because you get to transform, you get to look at things from a different perspective to create different results. That's really a fact. And share what is the one thing that you're committed to creating right now, not tomorrow, not later, right now that once you create it, it'll just take you to a different level. It'll just shift things. It'll accelerate things for you in all areas of your life. All right. So I'll see you tomorrow for Warrior Wednesday. So I'm so excited to see you guys tomorrow. Love to hear your questions. If you have any questions for me and any of that stuff. I actually have an idea. I got inspired by talking with one of my clients. Got inspired by a concept and idea. I'll share more about that tomorrow. All right. Bye, guys. Have an awesome Tuesday. Transformation Tuesday. Peace out. I'll see you for Warrior Wednesday. Bye for now.